guys? It's the real Corey Tenderson, and we're back with another CBR list thing, and this is Thor. 5 DC villains that should be able to beat him, and why they can't. Well, just judging by the fact that Darkseid and Brainiac are on the cover, I can already tell this is gonna suck. Thor is one of the most formidable superheroes in the Marvel Universe, armed without Mjolnir, one of the greatest weapons around. Thor has been clutch not only as a member, okay. So it's been known by many. A lot of people consider him the strongest character, the strongest Avenger, but let's be honest, DC is a whole nother level of characters. Whether you like DC or Marvel better, let's be honest here, there's a lot of characters that are way more powerful than him. For example, Darkseid, who has been able to defeat, most of the Justice League members at least once, I believe. So let's just see what this is. Should be able to beat Thor. General Zod. General Zod is pretty powerful, as we all know. One of the most powerful Kryptonians, greatest soldier of his doomed world, stuff. Why he can't be Thor. Thor's a better fighter. Wait, hold on a second. Combining the massive power of yellow sunlight exposed Kryptonians with the training of a soldier, Zod can take down just about anyone he goes up against. Thor is pretty skilled, but Zod has all the skills needed to give Thor a difficult battle. So, Zod has been able to give Superman himself a run for his money. Alright, and Superman's basically invincible. I would argue that Superman is much more powerful than Thor, because Thor's not invincible. Okay? He can be killed. You can stab him with a knife, and you can attack him with a sword, and you can get a cut on him. It won't keep him down. It will barely hurt him, but still, you'll get him bleeding. If you hit Superman with a sword, he's not gonna bleed at all. It's gonna be it'll break. Thor's probably just about under him. He's very powerful, but Superman probably could beat him. And if Superman could beat Zod, how is it that Thor could beat him? I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. Thor is very powerful, but he's not, he doesn't have just one, or just maybe 2 weaknesses that Superman has. Superman has, I think it's the red sun, maybe, or red kryptonite or whatever it was. It was red something, I can't recall, and kryptonite. Thor can easily be attacked and hurt, okay? Or not easily. He's very difficult to attack, but the point is he doesn't have steel skin that is basically the equivalent of steel. You know what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? He's close to invincible, but he's not invincible. Zod's an excellent combatant, and he uses his powers tactically, making him even more dangerous than most Kryptonians. However, he can't really stand with Thor's vast skill and experience. I'm going to press X to doubt. Thor's been battling all manner of foes, from mythical beasts and gods to armies and supervillains for thousands of years. His combat instincts have been honed by countless years of conflict. He has slight power advantage in some places, and Mjolnir's magic won't hurt Zod very much because it's not from his universe, but Thor outclasses him in skill and experience. Okay, so you're telling me if his hammer can't damage him at all, but he can still be beat by Thor. Why? How? Just because he may outclass him in experience, which I highly doubt, and skill, possibly, maybe. If he can't be hurt by his hammer, he's defeating enemies without his hammer. But this is Zod we're talking about. If his hammer can't hurt him, how is he a better fighter? That's going to take all the difference from Zod may take Thor by surprise first, but Thor will be able to preserve and take the rogue Tony down. Because he has more experience? That doesn't explain it at all. Just because you see his better experience doesn't mean that make it true. You need to give me more detail than that. Because that's just kind of dumb. That just because he has more experience, he can beat him. He can beat him. He has more experience, so that means he can beat him. So what? So what? Batman has more experience combat-wise than the Joker, but Joker's still been able to give him a run for his money. So what's your point here? should be able to beat Thor, Doomsday. So we've already determined, come on, let's be honest here, Thor is less powerful. Maybe even slightly less, but he's still less powerful than Superman, who was just barely able to hit Doomsday. He defeated Doomsday, and Doomsday killed him at the same time. So how the hell are you going to defend this one? So it says, one of the most important DC characters, he's the beast that killed Superman, which he'll never reach that level again. Any being that can't beat Superman is a dangerous foe, and Doomsday was able to kill him. Thor dealt with all kind of monsters, but he's rarely faced anything like Doomsday. Yeah, Doomsday, let's be honest here, Doomsday is, if he can kill Superman, who is one of the most powerful characters in all of DC universe, how is he gonna not be defeated by Thor, huh? How's that gonna work out? Let's see that. He's too simple. Fuck you. Just fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Okay? Alright, fuck you. I'm so sorry. I'm probably this video is gonna get age restricted, but I'm serious. Fuck you. Who cares if he's too simple? He took down, like, an entire, it was the Justice League of America, wasn't it, that tried to take on, Doomsday while Superman hadn't even gotten there yet, but the Justice League of America was, like, attacking him first, you know? He, like, basically destroyed them. I'm pretty sure he, like, crushed one of their faces, alright? Demolished it. He friggin' killed Superman. All these people were much more complicated than him. I'm assuming they meet in brain, in brain levels, but he still killed them. He didn't need brains because his brawn is bigger. It's much bigger than every other DC villain. Let's be honest, if you can beat someone with just brawn, if you can beat Superman with just brawn, that means you must be one of the strongest characters of all time. Who gives a shit? Doomsday is massively strong and unbelievably tough, but his offense is pretty simple. It doesn't matter. If you get punched, just one punch by Doomsday, if you're just, like, a regular person, if he just, like, slightly taps you with his punch, you're dead. You're dead. Superman, it took him a bunch, but just hurting the Man of Steel without kryptonite, that's insane. How the hell do you even think that Thor could do this? Thor's years of experience in martial skill is going to allow him to take advantage of simplicity of Doomsday offense. Guess what? Superman had experience. Superman's faced the likes of Brainiac, Lex Luthor, Parasite, all these characters that are very powerful. They're not like these mythological creatures that Thor's faced, but they're still very powerful. Parasite can drain your life energy and stuff. Lex Luthor is intellectually insane, and he's able to evade any law enforcement, and stuff like that. Okay, so he's taken on the likes of that. He just barely defeated Darkseid, but at the cost of his life, okay? So that just shows you, if Superman, who also has a lot of skill, got defeated and killed by Darkseid, or not Darkseid, Doomsday. Did I keep saying Darkseid? How the fuck is Thor's experience going to outlast him? Thor's not going to stand and punch it out with the monster once he realizes how powerful Doomsday is. He fights smarter, defeating the beast. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It really doesn't matter. Because it really doesn't. Because Superman's smart. I think CBR thinks that Superman's just muscle. Superman has been able to defeat Mr. Mxyzptlk, whose, like, biggest weakness is having his last name. He has to, like, get him to say his name backwards. That takes a lot of intellectual skill. Because Mr. Mxyzptlk, he may get tricked a lot, but he's not an idiot. So what is your point here? Should be able to beat Thor Reverse Flash. Okay, this one is a little more simplistic. Reverse Flash is negative speed force. The negative speed. This is something I just haven't read about. Are they going off, like, certain storylines? I feel like they should be going over overall, Most powerful heroes and villains. Thor is powerful, but he's rarely faced foe. Thor is too tough. These things like, too tough, too simple, that's such stupid reasoning. It's extremely powerful. They're just too tough for him. Yeah, but you can't. He might be able to outrun Thor. That's the thing. I mean, but whatever. I'm not gonna go too much into that. because I feel like that is true, but not for the reasons they're probably saying. Should be able to beat Thor. Brainiac. I agree. He was this close to defeating Superman in the Superman Brainiac event, which was very short, but still. So what's your excuse this time, genius? Brainiac, most dangerous being. Superman has a run from money. Yep. Thor has faced down a lot of challenges over these. Brainiac may be too much for him. Yep, maybe too much for him. Case closed. No. He's not ready for a god. Okay, what the hell, dude? Superman is basically a god. Let's be honest here. He doesn't consider himself that. He is still human. But so is Thor. They are both the equivalent of gods. Superman is tough, one of the most powerful heroes in comics, and Brainiac has a problem dealing with him. Thor, however, is on a whole nother level. No, he's not. That's the thing. Superman is on a different level than Thor, really. Superman has faced all types of enemies, okay? I don't think a god is going to faze him too much. And the thing is, Thor isn't invincible. Once again, Superman is virtually invincible besides kryptonite and stuff, you know? You know what I'm saying? Thor isn't invincible. He doesn't have, like, skin of steel, you know? They don't call him the Man of Steel for nothing. So you're basically saying that Superman is less powerful because Thor is a literal god. Just because you're a literal god doesn't mean that you're more powerful than everyone else. Okay? Like, that's not how it works. Superman is basically a god. Brink has never faced it being like Thor. Yeah, Superman. But that doesn't count. He's taken on the entire Justice League before. Dude, he's taken on Superman plus the rest of the Justice League. I don't think just a god's gonna phase off. Brainiac has, like, infinite knowledge. He's basically like the equivalent of Ultron. And Ultron gave Thor and the Avengers a run for their money, okay? So, you understand? You're kind of disproving your... Oh, boy. That's right, Darkseid. I wonder what their excuse is. The god of evil. Darkseid is one of the most powerful and juice. It's basically DC's Thanos. We get it. Everyone knows Darkseid. His arrogance. Okay. Alright, let's go back to Avengers Infinity War, right? I know this is about comics more than movies, but the movies are very comic accurate, let's be honest. Thor in Infinity War could have defeated Thanos this close, who is basically Darkseid's equivalent in, Darkseid is the Thanos of DC. So, because Thor didn't go for the head, as we all know, and Darkseid snapped away half the universe. Right? So, how is it that he can defeat Darkseid and not Thanos, you know? And Thor didn't even give the killing blow in the Endgame either. Thor still, in the MCU, has not defeated Thanos in combat himself. So what's your excuse here, genius? This is assuming that Thor is by himself, by the way. Completely alone. Darkseid's been fighting for a very long time. Longer than Thor has. And knows just how... Yeah. So you can't say experience, because he's fought much longer. He's much older than than Thor. Right? And as we've already mentioned, Superman is basically on the same power level, maybe even more than Thor. And he's gone to woods with him. He's given him a big run for his money. He's been giving the Justice League a big run for their money. He believes completely in his abilities and has been known to underestimate his foes. Maybe a little bit, but that's just because he underestimates people sometimes doesn't mean that he's not powerful. Like, just because someone has their flaws doesn't mean they're powerful. Just because Batman is bad when it comes to, like, relationships doesn't mean that he can't defeat Superman, as we've seen. You know, just because, you know, friggin', let me think of a good example. I can't really think of a good example right now. Just, my point is, just because of their personality flaws doesn't take away from their physical abilities or their mental abilities. You know what I'm saying? Well, he takes them seriously. Yep, he takes them seriously, so it doesn't matter if he underestimates them. He takes them seriously. You know? Like, let's be honest here. Let's look at the Empire in Star Wars. A lot of Imperials have underestimated their enemies, but the Empire was a huge force to be reckoned with. You understand? They did lose, but my point is they lasted for a long time while underestimating the rebels. So just because you underestimate your enemy doesn't mean that you don't take them seriously, you know? There's a complete difference, you know what I'm saying? He also always believes he's going to win, and that's going to bite him with Thor. Not really. Seems like Darkseid considers himself a god. Fighting a literal god, a known god, I think he's going to take him very seriously, and he's probably going to properly estimate him. You know what I'm saying? Darkseid's forces may give him an early advantage over Thor. The God of Thunder has been known for making his foes pay for their victories, finishing them off when all seemed lost for the Asgardian. Yeah, you know, Superman's done that too, you know. Oh, but let's just forget about Superman. You know, he's given Superman a run for his money. He even, like, brainwashed him into thinking he's bad. But, oh, Thor can easily beat him first try. Yeah. Darkseid has rarely faced a foe as fierce. Rarely? Oh, I don't know. Let's think about who's his main enemy. Oh, yeah, Superman. Superman, who is the equivalent of Thor. Maybe even more powerful than Thor, as we've stated. His arrogance. Who gives a crap? Have you seen his Omega beams? He has freaking Omega beams. They're like Superman's laser, eye beam things times 100. And it's like it's hurt Superman, who's the Man of Steel. He is virtually invincible, and Thor isn't invincible. So if Thor gets hit by those beams, he's screwed. He's absolutely screwed. Once again, we also have to think, how long have they had to prepare for this? Let's assume that they know nothing about their foe, too. They're acting as if Thor knows their foe. He knows nothing about Darkseid. He may be like the Thanos of the DC universe, you know? But he's not the same as Thanos. Whether he's more powerful than not, freaking Darkseid is insanely powerful in many different ways that Thor is not prepared for. Seriously, CBR is so stupid sometimes. Saying stuff like Thor can't beat Darkseid, or he can beat Darkseid, despite Thor not being able to defeat Thanos, you know? I mean, let's be honest here. Whether you're a Marvel fan or not, you gotta admit, Thor would not be able to defeat Darkseid on his own. I'm so done. I'm done, guys, for today. I will probably find a way to do another thing about CBR, but we'll see. I'll see you in the next one.